Welcome to Inspiring Narratives, your favorite channel for uplifting stories, renewed hope, and cultivating a deeper connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Discover with me how turning to Allah can lead you to amazing changes in your life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are back with another uplifting story that will, by the grace of Allah, strengthen your faith and renew your hope, inshallah. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Get yourself your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's get started with today's video. The woman of this story said, I got married when I was 16 years old. Back in those days, it was common for girls to marry at 15 or 16. By the time a girl turned 20, people would say she had already missed her chance at marriage. And if she had the opportunity to marry, it would usually be a man in his 50s or 60s. Alhamdulillah, I married at 16. I got married to my cousin. By the time I was 18, Allah blessed me with a baby girl. She was only 4 months old when my husband passed away in an accident. I became a widow at just 18 years old, an age where most girls hadn't even gotten married yet. Where I was from, it wasn't allowed for a widow with a daughter to remarry and take her child with her. If the child had been a boy, I could have kept him. But a daughter? Absolutely not. I was told if you want to remarry, you must leave your daughter behind. My daughter wouldn't have been allowed to step foot into my new home. So I had two choices, either remarry and abandon my daughter or stay single and raise her. When I reached 20, most of the men who came to propose were much older, in their 50s and 60s. I was sometimes younger than their own children. I always refused, using the excuse, no, I want to raise my daughter. But the truth, like any girl, I longed for a home, for children, for a family. Yet I accepted Allah's decree and remained patient. My father wanted to see me settled, but at the same time he couldn't bear the thought of me remarrying, especially because of my uncle who had lost his only son, my late husband. My daughter was his only comfort. Life felt restricted. As a woman, whether married, widowed, or unmarried, you couldn't go out alone. Nowadays, things have become much better. As my daughter grew older and started going to school, she began asking, Mama, why don't I have siblings? Why does everyone else have brothers and sisters, but I don't? I would tell her Allah creates some people with siblings and others as only children. We must accept the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She would watch me pray and make dua, and as a little girl would copy me praying, making dua. She would say, Ya Allah, give me brothers and sisters. I was happy to see her making dua, but at the same time it broke my heart to see her wanting siblings and I couldn't do anything about it. In order for me to get married and possibly have children, I'd have to leave my daughter, and my daughter was my world and the most important thing in my life. Years passed and I dedicated my life to raising my daughter. Life was tough as I wasn't working and my family lived a simple life. My husband's family would help out occasionally. I was content and grateful for what Allah had blessed me with. I prayed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would compensate me by filling my daughter's life with blessings. Just like any mother, I would constantly make dua for my daughter more than myself. I would pray that Allah bless her with a righteous husband, protect her and grant her happiness. Years passed by and she grew up. At 17, a good young man proposed to her. Well-mannered, from a respectable family, financially stable, and most importantly, he feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We prayed Istighfar and we all agreed on this man and accepted the proposal. By the time she turned 18, which was the legal age now to marry, she got married, and alhamdulillah, Allah made it easy for us all. The funniest thing is when my daughter's friends would see us together, they sometimes thought I was her sister. At her wedding, I was 36, but people often thought I was 26. She continues, soon after, both my parents passed away, one after the other. My siblings were all married, so I was left living alone in the family home. My daughter would visit, but most of the time I was by myself. I just want to take a pause here for a moment. If these stories touch your heart, do like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. And every share is a blessing for you too. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that whoever guides others to good earns the same reward. May Allah bless you. One day, one of my friends came over for a visit. She said to me, "Are you going to continue living like this? You're still young and beautiful. Why don't you remarry? Life isn't like before. You still have the chance to live your life, to have a home, maybe even more children." At first, I laughed it off. Me? At my age? I'll be a grandmother soon. But she kept insisting. Even my daughter supported the idea of me getting married, saying, "Mama, why not? I want you to be happy. I want to know you're cared for." They both kept insisting that I get married and that I was still young and had my whole life ahead of me. My daughter's support touched my heart. I had always prayed that Allah would make my daughter my comfort, and now she was encouraging me not to live alone. I started to make dua. If it's khair for me, bless me with a righteous husband and compensate me for all the years that have passed by. Around that time, I listened to videos about the power of istighfar, seeking forgiveness. Women shared how consistent istighfar had opened doors for them, even marriage at older ages. So I committed I would keep making istighfar daily with the intention that Allah would grant me a righteous husband if it was good for me. I heard about a woman who was 55 years old and remained consistent with her istighfar for 3 months, and Allah blessed her with marriage. There was another woman who got married after 7 months. What I realize when it comes to time is that we should be sincere and remain consistent and leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not place a time frame for ourselves. Don't say, "I will do this for 3 months and see what happens." Do not test Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The outcome and answer comes in perfect timing. Have certainty in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and think the best thoughts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "I am just as my slave thinks I am," meaning I am able to do for him what he thinks I can do for him, and I am with him if he remembers me. Your thoughts and opinions about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly affect the outcome of your experience. If you think thoughts like, "Allah won't answer my dua," that will most likely become your reality. But if you have complete certainty, without a shadow of doubt, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will answer your dua, as He Himself promised, "Call upon me, I will respond to you," then your experience will not only be beautiful, it will most probably exceed your expectations. She continues, "I would recite Astaghfirullah al-Azim, Rabb Arsh al-Azim wa atubu ilayh 1,000 times. Send 1,000 salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and repeat La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah 1,000 times every single day. I did this with the intention that Allah would answer my dua and bless me with a righteous husband." Then one day my sister suggested her brother-in-law, who was 47 and had 2 daughters, 12 and 13 years old. His wife had died of cancer. She asked, "What do you think about him as a husband?" My siblings encouraged me by saying, "Your daughter is married, she approves, and you're still young, why stay alone?" I replied that I would pray istikhara and ask Allah for guidance. And alhamdulillah, Allah opened the way and everything was made easy and we got married. I married him at 40 and truly Allah blessed me. He was a good man, religious, kind and suitable for me in age and character. His daughters loved me and helped me with the house chores. For the first time in my life, I felt like a real bride, like I had a proper home. This was all by the grace of Allah and the adhkar, istighfar, salawat and the hawqala. My entire life changed completely. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me and made me happy, alhamdulillah. I kept my dhikr practice even after marriage. And 2 years later, Allah blessed me with a baby boy. Imagine my eldest daughter was almost 22 and suddenly I was a new mother again. It felt like having my very first child. A precious gift after so many years of patience. My daughter was overjoyed. My husband's daughters adored him. This blessing transformed our lives and filled our home with so much joy. Allah truly compensates, comforts, and rewards patience in ways we cannot imagine. Never lose hope. Keep praying. Keep making dua. Keep your trust in Allah. Send abundant salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and seek forgiveness constantly. Whatever your heart desires, ask Allah. He is capable of all things. It is all easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask and ask with joy and certainty. May Allah bless you always. And that's it for today's video. Until next time, my lovelies, I leave you in the care of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.